Faith Promise Giving encourages us to give beyond what we think we can give to support missions. It's a promise we make, trusting that God will provide. It's also in addition to our regular giving. It's a commitment for 1 year. Let me explain. Many years ago, I was sitting in the chapel with my mom and dad and my young daughter, and I had just returned back to school. I was a single parent living on not a lot of money. It was missions weekend, which has always been very important to my family, and they passed out the mission promise cards. I didn't know what to write down. I was feeling very poor, and my mom said, write down $50. So I wrote down the $50, thinking, how's this going to happen? About a week or two later, my mom called very excited. She had just gotten back from a walk with my dad, and they were walking by the stream near their house, and my mom found a $50 bill, and she said, God provided. And I didn't really remember exactly what she was talking about. And then she said, it's your faith promise. I said, no, that's yours. You found it. And she said, no, it's yours. God provided it for you to share with the missions. So ever since then, it's been, reminds me of how the faith, that you have to have faith that God will provide, and he did.
Happy Faith Promise Weekend. My name is Tom Russo. I'm the treasurer of the Missions Commission. I'm going to go through the 20 missionaries that you support through your My Faith Promise pledges. I can't highlight them all, but I'll just go through some highlights, especially with our local ministries. Ambassadors for Christ in South America, Charlie and Chris Hannick. AFCI works through national teams born in their own nations to advance the spread of the gospel worldwide. We have Children's International Network in Latin America, John and Maritza Hernandez. They have dedicated their lives to rescue abandoned, abused, and neglected children. Crossworld in Brazil, Erica and Donna Schrift. They are missionaries in the northern jungles of Brazil, evangelizing poor and indigenous villages. And Endure International, Africa Inland Missions, Hannah and Evelyn Sheehan. Their mission is at the right place, at the right time in history, a critical tool in the Lord's hand to help persecuted church. Evergreen Family Friendship Services. Evergreen consists of Christian professionals from many countries who work alongside local Chinese partners toward the enhancement and sustainability of regional, economic, and spiritual development. Four Corners Native Ministry. Their mission is to spread the gospel of Christ by demonstrating unconditional love by building relationships to serve orphans and their families. Joy in the Harvest, Tanzania. Lowell and Claudia Words. Their ministry is helping the poor, assisting refugees, providing vocational and apprenticeship training, evangelism, church construction, and also women and youth ministries. Neighborhood Center in Camden. Neighborhood Center in Camden is a nonprofit that strives to serve the local community by offering academic, athletic, and arts programs for the children and teenagers while working to transform our community. One Mission Society, Ecuador. BJ and Andrea Williamson. Extreme Walk works alongside every community for church, which is the church multiplication catalyst of One Mission Society. GBGM Philippines, Roger and Faye Porquillo. Roger and Faye are based in Malabaya City. Their congregation consists of 16 families. Ranch Hope, South Jersey, David Bailey. We have Seeds of Hope Ministries in Camden, Bill and Brenda Antonor. They have 3 different ministries, one for ex-offenders, one for homeless people in Camden, and finally for ladies who find themselves in bondage to drugs and eventual prostitution. The Campus Crew, which is Alex Simpson, seeing college students, faculty, and administration encounter, experience, and express the compelling love of Jesus Christ is our desire in Jersey Metro Crew. Philadelphia Project. Their mission is to partner with churches, serve their neighbors, and create transformative service opportunities. FUMC Youth traditionally participates in an annual week-long mission trip to the Philadelphia Project. Now we have our homegrown missionaries, Craig and Cassandra Fisher. They're serving the ABWE Ministry Center, located 160 acres of property on the northwest side of Managua. It's being developed as a resource for ABWE missionaries involved in church planning and leadership training. Mission Society in Atlanta, John and Catherine Hines. Located in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, Centerform prepares churches and emerging leaders for contextual ministry in the 21st century by providing experiential missional formation experiences for small groups and individuals. Running for Him 24/7 Ministries, Bobby and Amanda Peoples. Our ministry is called Casa Feliz, a children's home in Las Cebas, Honduras. Casa Feliz is a safe and supportive home to children that are orphans or children that have been victims of abuse, abandonment, or other family issues. Eyes of Our Hearts, Camden, New Jersey. Judy Angelo. Started in 2015. We serve breakfast on the third Saturday in Camden, and we couldn't do this without all the donations made by this church. We do clothing, toiletries, along with the breakfast. Our staff prays with the guests and hears their concerns as how they can get on their feet. The Blessings Promise, Steve Ferrer introduced that to us this year. They offer up to 50 members $100 to bless someone. Well, they could use the money however they wanted. The sole rule was that the money could not be spent on themselves or their immediate family. 34 members blessed someone during the challenge, and several stories were shared. Give Ye Them to Eat, the Giddy in Mexico. We have a virtual trip with Giddy right now. Began February 6th, ends February 13th. It's a wonderful program in Mexico, ministering to poor farmers. 43 people signed up for the virtual Giddy mission trip. And just want to thank you again for all your pledges for support these ministries.
Good morning. I'm Gretchen Young, and I'm the Membership and Financial Secretary here at the church. This morning I have a letter from Amanda Peebles. She is the daughter of our previous pastor, Pastor Richard Nichols. She and her husband, Bobby, are one of our church's homegrown missionaries, and they serve in the country of Honduras. Through your faith promise giving, in addition to our regular support, we were able to send them a special gift at the end of last year to assist their mission after a series of hurricanes and flooding that devastated the area in which they serve. The following is a warm thank you letter from them that we recently received. Dear First UMC Moorestown, thank you so much for your continued support and the generous gift to our ministry given in December. We are very grateful for you and your willingness to invest in the lives of many struggling families here, especially this past year. With your support, we were able to provide Christmas dinners, a whole chicken, ham, bread, fruits, condiments, and beverages to over 40 families of a poor beach community called Sambo Creek. When we delivered the meals, everyone was so incredibly thankful to enjoy a Christmas feast with their family. This year will be a transition year for us as we prepare to fully release our bakery to one of our students. We will continue to work in the community providing food banks, hurricane relief, and other special projects as there are still many people here struggling due to the pandemic and the devastating hurricanes. Right now, we are planning to return to the U.S. in early summer. We are so thankful for your partnership in this ministry to serve youth and families. Your prayers, support, and encouragement enable us to serve here and share the love of Christ with others. You continue to be in our hearts and prayers, and we look forward to seeing you again this summer. We ask that you continue to pray for our transition here, the young women who have been training, and the many families and communities affected by COVID and the hurricanes. Love, Bobby and Amanda Peebles.
Greetings to my brothers and sisters at Moorestown. It's good to be with the First United Methodist Church once again. During my years in ministry, I have had the privilege of working with missionaries from various places around the world. I've been with work teams in Puerto Rico, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic, as well as domestic trips to Appalachia and right here near home in Camden. In all of these trips, there is one thing in particular that impresses me and that I admire most, and that is the faith and dedication of our missionaries. This applies to the leaders and the staff of a joint mission project of the Methodist Church of Mexico and our own Board of Global Ministries. It is centered in the city of Tlacoalpican in the state of Puebla and is known as JITI. This is an acronym for the command of Jesus at the feeding of the 5,000, give ye them to eat. They have taken these words as their marching orders as they respond by faith to this command. They have gone into villages and rural landscapes of Mexico, working among the poor and the indigenous peoples, showing them ways to better health, better farming practices, improved animal husbandry, while demonstrating how they may use what lies at hand to meet their immediate needs. They need land to graze their animals or to grow crops. Jitty teaches them how to reclaim land that has been eroded over the decades of neglect. They teach how to build homes out of bales of straw that, when plastered over with stucco or clay, provide sturdy structures that also insulate against the extremes of heat or cold. They demonstrate how to make stoves for cooking from clay and turf, and how to use twigs and broken branches for fuel so that trees do not need to be cut down for firewood. They teach how to make composting toilets, protecting against pollution. And all the while that this is going on, Jitty welcomes groups from various agencies in Mexico for training so that they may share these and other practical applications. They welcome groups from the United States who come to work and to learn. At the same time, teams are being sent out to villages throughout the area to teach women and children about ways to better health through personal and oral hygiene and the use of herbal medicine. All of this is done in cooperation with the local Methodist churches in Tlancualpican and throughout the state of Puebla. I mentioned at the start about my admiration for our faithful missionaries. By their work, they spread the good news far more effectively than they ever could by words alone. And in closing, I wish to honor the memory of one of these missionaries, Lee Talbot. He worked with his wife as volunteer missionaries with Wycliffe Bible translators, and who, along with Steve Farrar, led our first visit to Jitty nearly 18 years ago. He was indeed a good and faithful servant, and one who personifies what we hope to accomplish in our Faith Promise Sunday.
Hello. A few weeks ago, I told you our church has a heart for missions. I hope you've seen that in the last few weeks, and especially I hope you've been able to join us on our virtual mission trip to Mexico. I believe that anyone that's involved in missions has a life experience, something that they'll remember their entire life. And I think that's the Holy Spirit working through us. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers. Please continue to pray for our missionaries because they covet your prayers. And today, thank you for your commitment. Please fill out your faith promise card and put it in the basket at the back of the church. If you need one at home, please let me know. I'll send it out. We thank you for your commitment so that we can budget our support for the missionaries. And we appreciate all that you do for missions. Thank you.